Hello everyone, my name is Dalton Doctor, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the RIX DBH D6. This is the box it came in. Super nice, heavy duty. Top comes off. A very nice carrying case in here. See if I can open it up for you guys. This is the case that comes in the box with the scope. I have the scope mounted on my rifle currently, so. All right, let's get started. This scope is a 640 resolution, so they do make higher resolution scopes now. I know Pulsar has a 1024, iRay has a 1024, and RIX has a 1280 version of this exact scope, but just a 1280 version of it. There's a bigger objective on the 1280 one than the 640, but I run the 640 version. Some of the features the scope has, it has a built-in LRF, which stands for laser rangefinder. It also has a built-in ballistic calculator. So how that works is once you get your cartridge and all your specs of your ammo that you're shooting, you can input it into the scope itself. And then once you set it in at 100 yards, it will give you your compensation on where to aim based on your bullet performance. Now, it is always best to do your own measurements than just take the measurements off the box of bullets or the cases or stuff like that, because they do differentiate a little bit. So you want to try to get it as close as you possibly can. They say with ballistic calculators, trash in is trash out. So the better information and clearer data and more pinpointed you can get the information that you put into the scope itself, the better it will perform and you'll have way more luck with it. Another feature that the scope offers is it has a green laser that you can turn on to mark things. So like a lot of times after I shoot a coyote, if it runs off or even if it lays right where it is, I will turn the laser on and put the laser on the coyote itself, and then I will be able to just walk the laser out to it and recover it quickly and efficiently as possible. The focus on the scope, there's two knobs on each side. They're up here at the front. That is to clear up the picture. It has a lens cap up front that flips to the side. The zoom itself is on the back of the scope. It's an ocular zoom. There's a knob here. You can see it, and it just twists left to right. Left being the furthest zoomed out, the right being the most zoomed in. Now, do know when you zoom in, your quality of your picture will get worse the more you zoom in. So you want to find that happy medium of, not a 2 base mag, but not a 20 zoom, so you can still see what you're aiming at and get the best shot you possibly can, other than shooting at just a blob. You want to have it as defined as possible. I usually shoot on probably 12 to 14 zoom, depending on how far the coyote is away that I'm shooting at, but I never really crank it all the way up because it's never worked for me as well. I have ran 3 scopes in the last 2 years. I started with a Pulsar, and then I went to an iRay Bolt, and now I went to the RIX, and by far the RIX has outperformed the other 2 scopes. I really like this scope. I've been using it now pretty much since the beginning of the year. Maybe, I think it was like January I started using it, and this is one badass scope. By far the easiest to use out of all the scopes I've had. The zoom being just a knob back here that you turn instead of a button that you press and then have to cycle through them. The rangefinder is just the front button on it, and it ranges quick and it gives you a holdover and stuff very efficiently. This scope does have recording capabilities, so you can hit the button on it to record or take a picture, and you can also turn in the settings and turn on the auto record recoil activated. So every time you shoot, it'll record from 15 seconds before your shot to 15 seconds after your shot. So that's how I get most of my videos, because I'll be honest with you, I get very excited when the coyotes come in and I start seeing them and they're getting into shooting range. The last thing that's going through my head is, hey, I got to hit this button to record it. I just get down on the gun and get ready, because you never know if they're going to wind you or something and bust off, and you're going to only have a split second to take a shot. So I'm not very good at recording the video, remembering to record the videos, but the recoil activated has helped me out immensely with capturing some really cool videos off of the scope. This scope runs off of two 18650 batteries, so that being said, they are rechargeable, but they're not proprietary to RIX itself. So you can buy 18650 batteries on the internet, and as long as they run the same dimensions as these RIX, you can run them. I think these batteries run about $50 a piece, and it takes 2 at a time. There is no internal battery in the scope, so when the batteries are dead, the batteries are dead. I definitely recommend having multiple sets of backups, because I end up having to change them out most nights I go out, because I'll only get 6 hours, maybe a little more if it's really nice out, and I will get substantially less the colder it is out. It drains the batteries way faster. So, and they just go right in the back here. You latch that clip, push it forward, and you're good to go. To turn it on, there's an orange button up here. You hold it for 5 seconds and it will light up RIX, and then I'd say within 15-20 seconds the scope's up and running and ready to go, and you open the lens cap and focus her up and you're ready to shoot. I've shot a lot of coyotes at a long ways away with this scope. I shot, my longest is confirmed is 695 yards. I've shot plenty at 50 yards, under 100 yards. I got quite a few over 200, quite a few over 300, over 400, 500, and then the longest being at 695. But, you know, this scope with this gun, I got this thing tuned in really well, and it is very impressive on how well the scope works once you get it dialed in. In my opinion, for a 640 scope on the market, this is the best scope you can buy right now. And I'd say the 1280 version of this scope is the best 1280 you can buy right now. It, in my mind, the ballistic calculator is unmatched compared to what Pulsar and IRA has to offer. I don't think that they are nearly close to RIX and the capabilities that the scopes have to offer. So, that being said, I give this scope a A+ on the review, and I look forward to using it and shooting a lot more coyotes with it. Thank you.